These are images that are coming in from Haifa, which has repeatedly been in the line of fire. There appears to be a massive traffic jam. Has a missile struck Haifa? Haifa has repeatedly been targeted in the northern part of Israel. I was reporting from Haifa when operations against Lebanon were mounted last year, and it's a very rich oil port. Incidentally, the Adanis have a port in Haifa. They manage a port. The Chinese have a port and interests in Haifa. It's a beautiful city. In the First World War, we hear of that Haifa charge. India played a very critical role in the liberation of Haifa and or the British Indian forces. But those are the images that you see of Haifa right now. You have the Iron Dome system in action, which is taking down the incoming threat. And if you were to talk about, Pranay, the missiles that are coming in, a ballistic missile would just take, the 2,000 kilometers that it has to travel from Iran to Israel would take about 8 to 10 minutes. A cruise missile would take about an hour, 2 hours, around that kind of time. Also depending on what missile has been fired, but there is clear and present danger. So you have multiple assets of the Israeli Air Force, including their fighter jets and the Iron Dome and David Sling system in action.
Absolutely right, Gaurav, and you have to point. I would like to point out here that, like, if Iranian missiles can hit any Israeli target, this clearly shows that they have managed to navigate the territories in between: the Iraqi territory, the air defense system of Iraq, the air defense system which are present in Jordan, and also the air defense system in Israel. So the multi-layer air defense system which is present within the territory of Israel and as well as territories beyond. This clearly shows that Iran is able to manage and penetrate the air defense, the Iron Dome system, David Sling, Arrow, and THAAD, Patriot, like multi-layer, five-layer system air defense which is present to protect the Israeli territories. Also, you have to notice here that the Israel doesn't have a strategic depth. Israel is smaller in territory, like around 70 to 75% smaller than Iran, and also is that it has higher population density. So if the Iranian missiles can hit Iran, can hit Israel and Israeli territory, they can cause a wide level of destruction. And the kind of visuals we are getting, this is certainly very disturbing visuals for the Israeli government as well. But people have been instructed to go into bunkers. These bunkers, you have also gone there, Gaurav, you know it very well, and we have been to these bunkers. We know that how secure, how protected these bunkers are. So we may expect that Israel gets a time to respond, because as you pointed out, the trajectory of a missile coming from Iran, it travels, it takes a while, and Israel gets a time to respond. But meanwhile, let me tell you one interesting thing, that even Iran is not only carrying out these missile attacks, but they are also claiming that there is no damage which has been caused to Fordo. Even just a while ago, the Iranian news agency has done a walkthrough and showcasing the visuals of Fordo facility by saying that there is no damage. There's only some fume which can be seen coming out of that Fordo facility, but there is no widespread damage. Our reporters walkthrough, I have just seen that. So on one side, there are claims that there is no damage, but on the other side, Iran is hitting Israel. So clearly an escalation. Clearly, we could see that the next level of the American attack, whether it comes or not, that is a bigger question. That to protect Israel, whether President Donald Trump again instructs the American Air Force to carry out further attacks on Iranian missile facilities and also the nuclear facilities.
I want to put out these images full screen. Big story coming in. There's an Iranian missile that has hit Haifa, the northern port city of Israel. That's the image that we are getting in. There you see, it's an attempt at interception. It's a barrage of Iron Dome rockets and missiles that have been fired in an attempt to intercept the incoming missile, but it's managed to hit a built-up area. You can see the damage on ground. While people were asked to go indoors in Haifa, this is the first image that is coming in from Haifa, the very crucial Israeli port city. It has various quarters. Haifa has been hit before. It has repeatedly been targeted by Iran. And the fact, Ambassador Trigunayat, that Iran is able to launch missiles that can hit Haifa or Tel Aviv or Beersheba in the south. It can hit across the length and breadth of the country, despite multiple levels that an attempt is being made to stop it, just when it is being launched or by Jordan or by American warships or by British warships or by the air forces and the Israeli Air Force and the Iron Dome and the David Sling and the THAAD system, and yet it hits.
Yes, that is true. I mean, that shows that despite all the information one gets out from outside, Iran has developed tremendous missile capacities. And they are yet to use some of their weapons that they have been threatening. In fact, if you remember, yesterday night there was a news that they would be sending about 450 missiles, and they have also started those cluster missiles and others. So I think that this is something that is going to be a very difficult. This is the only strength the Iranians have. They don't have a good air force. So that's why when the Israelis say that they have the full command over the Iranian airspace, that's a different thing. But then that doesn't mean that they also have the full control over their airspace. So I think at the moment, Israel is also quite stressed. And that's the reason that they asked the American intervention to come in. Now it'll all depend on exactly how US is going to play out. Of course, a lot of supplies are being given to the Israelis by the Americans to beef up, but that takes time.
And Ashraf Wani is just joining me in a moment. Before I take a break, Ashraf, quick reaction from you. The manner in which Iran has been able to strike back, despite, and this is day 10 of Israel's attacks on Iran and the US bombing, they've succeeded in striking Haifa.
Absolutely, Gaurav. And during last few days, the Benjamin Netanyahu was claiming that they have completely damaged all the launching facilities of Iran. And today, Iran has shown that there is not any kind of a truth in the claims of Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, what the Israeli government has claimed that 10 direct strikes on the different parts of Israel, particularly in the central Tel Aviv, central part of Israel, and also in the port city of Haifa, about which you are talking and you have also visited many times to date place. That is the nerve center of the all economic activities of Israel. That has not been hit first time during last 10 days of war. The Haifa was the main target of Iranian missiles because that is the nerve center, that is the refinery of the Israel that has already got damaged and is not still being activated by the Israeli engineers. And also today again, the one building has hit what we are getting from the sources from the port city of Haifa, that there are also casualties reported from that missile strike in Haifa. But as you know, there is a full-fledged censorship on the images as well as on the videos and on the details in the Israel. The Israel has already issued the orders of censorship that if any journalist reports the reality of the strategic assets in the Israel, he will be sent to the jail. So that is the position currently in the Israel, and also the blows during last many days Israel is getting. That clearly indicates that now the people of the Israel are so divided, who were gathered around the flag when the Benjamin Netanyahu started these strikes against Iran last Friday. But now the life across the Israelis stand still, that has divided the society there also, that whether this move by the Benjamin Netanyahu was right or wrong.
Okay, stay with me for a moment. Ambassador Trigunayat, Dr. Wael Awad, stay with me. We'll continue talking about this. 3 images that we are putting out on your television screen showing you the damage that the missiles have caused in Haifa, that very crucial port city. Of course, I've reported from Haifa, from Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Beersheba, the different parts of Israel.